Welcome back everyone to our gameplay of Re.Poly. So we're doing a little swimming here first thing in the morning, and you can see that we are swimming over to get a little bit closer to the first, where I believe the first shrine is located. Alright, so now that we can hop out, first thing I'm going to do is take a look around for any enemies we might have. Again, we do not want to see warriors. Goblins we can handle. Warriors, not so much. So behind us, this is the island where we went through in the initial teleporter. We were on that island, so I've simply made my way around. I've been looking around, collecting some resources, and here you can see all of the resources that we have. And also, I have completed our first set of armor, our fiber armor. You can see plus 15, plus 20, plus 35, and then plus 15 for our fiber armor. Obviously, as time goes on, we'll want to upgrade that, but for right now, this will have to suffice based on our current level. So the marker seems to be taking us in that direction, but before we go and do anything crazy like that, I want to see if we can't sit down and do some basic building. And this is not the best area that I'm looking at right now. It's not necessarily flat like I would prefer, but it is seemingly pretty close to our first objective. So we're going to just build right in this area. We'll set up our first farm as well as a respawn point. So we want to do that first. We want to make a sleeping bag, and for that we're going to need 20 fiber and 2 rope, which we definitely have. So let's go ahead and craft that. And you notice I'm keeping the sword out, and that's because we're going to need that. If any bad things come around, that will be our best opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and eat a little bit as well. We need to actually find some more food. I'm trying to hang on to all of the crops that I've harvested because I want to turn them into seeds to start our farm. But we may have to sacrifice a few of them. All right, here we go. Sleeping bag is done. We'll drop that in slot number 4. And all right, where's it at? There it is. All right, so we're just going to drop it down on the ground, and we're going to call this starter. Name taken. Starter 1. There we go. And we're going to set our respawn point right there. All right, so we're all set. That means simply if we happen to get killed roaming around, we will spawn right back in this location. And if we do get killed, then our equipment will be right at the spot where we died. So hopefully that won't happen, but if it does, then our next hope is that we're actually able to recoup our stuff. All right, so we got a little bit of a bug there in the crafting menu, so we come out, come back in, and we're good to go. So the first thing I'm going to do before we get into our seeds and planting our farm is I'm going to make a workbench, and that workbench is going to start allowing us to improve our technology. It's going to allow us to start building our first house as well as upgrading our tech as time goes on. But as you can see on the right hand side of the screen, it's going to take about 55 seconds to do that. So in the meantime, I'm just going to move a little bit further ahead, see if anything spawns in. Right now I don't see anything. Trying to play it pretty close to the shoreline here just in case. We'll just use this time to collect a little bit of resources, some sticks, some fiber, and some wood. So we got about 20 seconds left for our workbench. And so let's go ahead and swap back over to our weapon. Now we're going to need some food, some more food. So these mushrooms are going to come in handy here momentarily. But that's all I see in the area. A few mushrooms here and there, but again, I don't want to go too deep in here just yet. Not till we get a little bit of building done. All right, so let's come back over, and again, we're not going to worry too much about the placement here. We're just going to drop it down and see what we can make with it. All right, number 4, let's go ahead and, oops, wrong key. Let's go ahead and rotate that around, and we'll just drop it right there. So if we come in to open up our workbench, now you can see we've got a lot of other items that we can build. We can build a cutting block, which is going to allow us to cut wood into planks much faster than we can do by hand. Let's see, we've got some leather items, and we've got a little bit of leather here. We can, or at least the beginnings of leather, we'll need to actually turn this into leather. And let's see, where is that at? The tannery, there we go. So we'll need a tannery to create leather out of our hide. We can get hide right now. The only place I know to get hide from is actually from the deer that you see from time to time. But you can see a lot of different building parts, from steps all the way through door frames, floors, foundations, and so on. All right, also that big wood chest is going to be quite nice, but we need some copper ingots for that, and we're nowhere near getting a hold of those. All right, so let's see. What do we need for a foundation? It looks like 15 wood logs and 3 wood planks. How many of these can we make? Oh, we can make 15 of those. Yeah, I've got a lot of resources on hand. So let's just go ahead and do 6. All right, we've got some auto items spawning in here. We got some pumpkins. I'll definitely take those. And all right, let's get... You can see I'm extremely paranoid about moving around in the area because I have seen things spawn in quite quickly and quite close as I move around. So I definitely don't want that to happen if at all possible. All right, so we've got a couple of foundations. Let's see if we can go ahead and set these down. So 3 foundations. And here we go. Let's go ahead and drop 1, 2, and do we want to go here? Nope, can't go on that side apparently. There we go. All right, we've got 2 more. It looks like 1 more to make. Yes, there we go. All right, now let's come back in. So we'll go ahead and do 3 wide by 2 deep right now. And that'll give us a little bit of room to get started. Very basic house. Let's see, what do we have here for... Over to our workbench, we need a wall. Let's do a door frame first. We'll do 1 of those. And then walls, how many? Oh, we could do 13. That would be really good. We'll start off with about 6 of those. We don't need to totally encase our first house, but we'll go ahead and get a little bit. Let's see, there's the door frame. Here are the walls. And let's go ahead and drop this right on the corner. And then first things first, we'll go ahead and try to protect ourselves from the front side. And all right, it's going to be a little bit before the other walls are made, but this gives us an opportunity to see the beginnings of how we could build our first house, give us a little bit of protection, and hopefully keep us from dying quite as much. All right, let's drop down a few more of these walls. There we go. All right, I think that's all of them. So now what we need to do is get started with our farming. So for our farm, we're going to just drop them down along the shoreline here. So before we can do that, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and eat some green apples here. We're almost out. Let's go ahead and refill everything. There we go. So now our hunger is completely filled. You also notice that we took care of our thirst as well. Let's see, we've got corn, pumpkins. Let's start with some pumpkins. And we want to turn these pumpkins into seeds. So let's go ahead and do that. We can make a total of 11 seeds. We actually get 2 seeds each time that we craft. So you can see +2 every time. All right, we have turned all of our pumpkins successfully into seeds. So let's grab those and set down our very first plants. All right, so very simple here. I'm simply going to drop them in one next to each other. It won't be pretty right now, but it will certainly do the job. All right, so we'll do rows of 5. And the placement on these can be pretty interesting, so you have to be careful. Every once in a while, I'll place one on top of the others, but it seems to still work just fine. All right, so you can see we've got quite a nice farm already because we're going to have tons and tons of pumpkins. Also trying to keep a close eye out, make sure nothing sneaks up on us as best I can. Don't see anything. Maybe nothing will spawn in the area if the game is being nice to us. All right, next up, let's do some carrot seeds. And we're going to craft the maximum. So we're going to have quite a nice looking little farm here to get going. And let's see, what do we need to make some stairs? There we go. An L shape. We don't need an L shape. We really just need some basic stairs. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and craft that. Because I want to make another entryway right here on the back side. So we'll leave a little room for that. Okay, there we go. Let's drop these down. Let's also grab our carrot seeds. And there we go. So now we can get open in. So we can get back to our planning. So immediately you can see that it doesn't take a whole lot of gathering in order to create your very first farm. So we're going to have plenty of food as it continues to grow. But obviously you see we're just at the beginning stages, so nothing to harvest as of yet. All right, there we go. So we're done with the carrots. Let's see, what is next? We've got potatoes. Where is our potato seeds? Right there. Maximum there, 12, which will give us 24 seeds. We can do a standing torch. Let's go ahead and craft one of those as well. As you can see, it is starting to get a little bit dark. And while we do have a torch, it would be nice if we didn't have to rely solely on that torch. All right, so while it's working on that, we'll go ahead and grab our potatoes, and we'll just start dropping these down right next to our carrots. This is going to be a farm big enough to supply an entire family with food, so hopefully it'll be enough for us. All right, there we go. Let's find that standing torch now. And we're going to place it down. Let's see. Let's just put it right over here next to our work area. All right, let's interact with it. And so we want to give it some fuel. Okay, so we can't turn it on until we give it fuel. Let's go ahead and drop some of this in there. And there we go. We got our first standing torch. One over on this side. Let's drop another one down, actually. We'll make another one. What else we have here? We've got wheat. Let's see, we can make wheat seeds. Let's make a few of those. We won't quite use up all the wheat that we have because the wheat you can actually turn into other foods. So we'll hold on to a little bit of that for right now. But so the goal for today was to show you guys some of the basic building mechanics. So we have the basics of a house right here. And then I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the early game farming. Obviously, you would want to do much more than this on the building side. We want to get much farther along in the technology, but I think we have a really good start. All right, let's go ahead and drop this down. And for fuel, let's just go ahead and give it the rest of the wood logs. We've got tons of wood logs over here. All right, so that'll give us a little bit of light in the darkness on either side. And let's see, what else do we have? Oh, we have a little bit of corn. And 54, yikes, I didn't realize I had quite that much corn. We do not need that much corn, so we'll just go ahead and do 10 of those. That'll leave us some that we can eat. So we'll go ahead and drop a few down in there in the hot bar. All right, so nighttime is upon us, but no worries this time. We have plenty of light around us. Now we just hope that nothing bad is coming to get us. So this is why it's always a good idea to pick up any of the fruits and vegetables and grains you might see growing out in the world. So you won't have to worry about that before too long, because your home base will be full of harvestable food. But right now you can see everything is still very much in the early stages. All right, let's see what we got. We got a little bit more. We got some wheat seed that we need to take care of. Let's see. Is there a door? Yes, there is a door. So let's go ahead and craft that door. Get our sword back, because we can see absolutely nothing beyond this small little area. All right, so our door is done. I'll feel a little bit better about things once we get this door in. And let's go ahead and see if we can't finish this up. And every time I forget that I have to come back over to our workbench. One of these days I will eventually get used to doing that. Let's do, how many do we need? 2? I think that's enough. Yeah, 2 will be enough. And we might do another door right here, but I think 2 will suffice. Let's go ahead and drop these into the hot bar. All right, so very easy. So let's do another doorway, and once again, are you kidding me? That thing ran out that quickly? Wow. That is a huge amount of fuel that it burns. Okay. So this is about all I'm willing to put back in there. For right now, I don't want to use all of my resources, but it used a ton of wood just to get that done. Yikes. All right, let's go ahead and make another door. And let's make, we got a doorway, we need a door. There it is. So right now we're building with wood. Oh, looks like I forgot. Let's see, we need what? We need some more planks. All right, we'll do some planks. And yeah, we need that copper to get the cutting block, which would help us out tremendously here. So let's see, let's do the planks. Let's just do about 10 of those. That should be sufficient. All right, where is... All right, now I know we got that other one. We were making that. Am I just missing it in here? So we didn't have enough to even make the doorway? I could have sworn we had that. All right, so let's go ahead and get that one crafting. And then here momentarily, we'll try to get busy on the door. All right, so it needs 5 wooden planks. We're making 10. Okay, looks like it's done with that. All right, luckily our handheld torch does not run out of fuel. So at least the game is having some pity on us. All right, let's come inside, make me feel a little bit better. Okay, so now we're inside. We'll let the night pass, and we'll be back in just a moment. All right, daytime is upon us, and before we headed out, I decided to do a little bit of work while I was in the dark. So I crafted some small wooden chests just so we'll have a little bit of room to put our stuff down, because what we're going to do now is actually go out on a bit of an expedition, because I want to see exactly what's up there. Are we very close or not to our next location and our very first shrine outside of the tutorial area? So you notice I just created some badges so that bandages, excuse me. So, all right, that gets us back to basically full health. So we'll have a few of those, but basically all we're taking with us is our sword, a little bit of food, and some bandages. Our torch, no big deal there. So we're going to open this up, and let's see how far we get. All right, so once again, I'm trying to basically follow the guide. I'm not going to pick up any resources unless I see something that I haven't seen before, such as copper, because I have not seen any copper to this point. Or at least if I saw it, I didn't know what it was. All right, once again, looking around for anything that will do a lot of harm to us. The bandages may help us if we get caught in multiple fights. Let's see, I think I see a deer. Nope, I thought I saw a deer over there. That would give us some hide. All right, don't see anything around right now. That's good news for us. Can't really see the marker, but again, I think it's right up there. There we go. We can see just a sliver of it. Can't walk straight up the side of the mountain. So let's try. All right, let's try to keep our food and water up as best we can. Now, if we happen to see a warrior, then I'll go ahead and fight it just so you guys can see what quick work he's going to make of us. But if we can't avoid fighting one, then we'll, by all means, go ahead and fight him. All right, let's see if we can get up this. And yes, we can. All right, so where is that leading? It looks like it's leading to this huge tree. And I would assume that would mean there's a shrine nearby. But right now, and of course, if there's a shrine nearby, it would make sense that there's probably going to be some bad guys around. But so far, I've seen nothing, which is a very good thing. All right, we're just going to come straight at this and see if we can't get up the side of this, because this seems to be the ending point, and I'm dying to know what's up here. All right, we can't get straight through. Of course, at this point, if we do happen to see something, we'll probably be so close to it by the time we see it that we'll be forced to fight whether we want to or not. All right, can we get up here? Yes, we can. All right, so once again, this appears to be the location, unless it's going right over this big tree. All right, so now we're looking for a shrine. And I'm going to jump up on top of this thing. All right, so is it just going through the tree? Or is it pointing to it? All right, no shrine, no bad guys, no anything just yet. All right, it seems to be stopping here, so maybe it's on the other side. All right, I see rock, I see lots of resources in and around, but I see nothing of a shrine. So are we going to have to chop this tree down in order to make that happen? Okay, I'm not seeing it. Now, it's entirely possible, because we're in the early stages of development of this game, that there is no shrine available for us to take care of right now. I have no idea. But all I know is we made it to the spot that we were pointed to, and I don't see anything around. Okay, how about that? Oh, and the last thing I wanted to point out for you guys today is you notice at the top of the screen, we talked in the first video about the compass at the top of the screen and how as we place things down, they will show up on there. Well, that's exactly what we have right now. I have actually put down a couple of sleeping bags, and those sleeping bags are what's showing up. So, and it also shows us that the home icon means that, well, we have some sort of sleeping bag or a bed or something down in that area. All right, so, and it's not very far away. You can see about 390. Then I have another one that's behind it that is a good bit further, if I remember correctly. But I wanted to make sure I show you guys. And then over in this direction, we have, at about 800 meters, we have another one. So you can place down multiple bases throughout the game world and have yourself multiple spawn points just in case. Or if you're hurt and need some food, need some water, whatever the case may be, you'll have the ability to get that. All right, so as we're making our way down on this side, I'm just sort of looking out for anything bad that might spawn in on us. But this is a beautiful view. So right now, I think we'll call it a day. This is a beautiful spot to build on, quite frankly. This would be awesome. But now, I need to figure out if we can go any further at this point in the game development. Maybe the shrines are just randomly spawning out in the world and we have no idea where they are. Lots of questions that need to be answered, but that'll do it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more Re.Poly.